again. For the Fae do not know death as we do. How could
Greetings, virtual wanderers. Aeon's here. If you're into third-person RPG fantasy worlds, satisfying hack and slash combat, then buckle up. We're diving into the world of Amalur, where you play as the Fateless One, resurrected with no memory but gifted with the power to shape destiny itself through the freedom of choice throughout the game. Set in a vibrant fantasy world torn apart by war, you'll battle foes with a weapon of your choice, uncover ancient secrets, and ultimately build a character of your own taste. Before we go any further, let's just set things straight. This game is a remastered version of the original Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning by EA, now named Re-Reckoning. The difference is that this version was published by THQ Nordic in 2020, in addition to having visual improvements, improved features, and extra content. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's see how the game holds up. The world of Amalur is bursting with activities that might make you forget there's even a main quest. To start things off, there are 5 major factions that divide some of the citizens of this world, ranging from discovering dark secrets to becoming a noble warrior. Each faction comes with its own storyline and shiny rewards to match. But don't worry, if you don't want to choose, that's okay, because you can immerse yourself in all of them in one playthrough. If that isn't enough to make you want to play the game already, then the sheer amount and variety of side quests will. While there are basic quests that only need you to fetch and deliver items for a quick buck, the game also offers so much more. Depending on what your cup of tea is, you can take on region-specific quests, grab bounties, investigation quests, or even brain teasers, though thankfully the escort missions are kept to a minimum. What makes it even better is that these side quests are backed by stories that are so detailed, each one feels like a unique adventure of its own.
One less assassination to carry out. The war has brought us great fortune.
The landscape is dotted with collectibles and secrets, including lore stones that tell the world's history while granting sweet bonuses when you complete a set. For the treasure hunters, there are plenty of chests to crack open. Just be ready to test your lockpicking skills or solve magical ward puzzles to maybe get unique sets. It doesn't stop there though. There are even hidden chests that are scattered all around the place. You just have to kind of get your feet stuck in it. Care to get your hands dirty? Crafting enthusiasts can dive into 3 completely separate systems. Forge your perfect weapon through blacksmithing, brew potions with gathered ingredients through alchemy, or create powerful gems via sage crafting. At some point in the game, you also get a few houses with stashes and crafting stations. But if you prefer more direct action, there's monster hunting and dungeon diving in the numerous caves and ruins scattered throughout the world. But even when you do go dungeon diving, the game sometimes still gives you reminders by popping a crafting station here and there, giving you the option that, well, you can craft your own stuff. So you're free to pick your poison, or in fact, pick them all. This game without a doubt has enough to keep you sidetracked for as long as you want. Now let's explore how the world of Amalur looks like. Picture Amalur as a giant theme park. It's split into 5 major regions, each broken down into smaller sub-regions packed with dungeons to explore. It's not just a simple split either. These regions are heavily segmented, with clear boundaries and transitions between each sub-region. While most of this theme park is yours to roam from the start, the game keeps 2 special areas, Caluricon and Alabastra, under lock until you progress far enough in the story. Getting around this world is pretty straightforward though. You can venture on to other regions by following the path at your local map's border, but then you gotta go through the good old loading screens. The same goes for whenever you enter buildings or dungeons. The game does reward you in a way though, because once you've discovered landmarks like settlements or dungeon entrances, you can fast travel to them instantly just by hitting fast travel on your pause menu map. While each sub-region gives you plenty of space to roam, don't expect total freedom of movement. Those invisible walls pop up more often than you'd like, and forget about taking creative shortcuts. No jumping off waterfalls here. You'll need to stick to those designated paths. At the end of the day, the world of Amalur is still very big and explorable with a few constraints here and there, making the world open enough for the fantasy lovers out there. Amalur's world is like a vibrant fantasy painting come to life, where each region tells its own visual story, from the emerald forests of Dalantarth to the sun-baked deserts of Detyre, and from the murky swamps of the plains of Erathel to the frostbitten reaches of Alabastra. Each area has its own personality and atmosphere. Plus, the game's whimsical art style makes even the darkest corners of the world pop with color and character. Moving on, the settlements dotting the landscape do their best to feel alive, with countless NPCs going about their business in towns like Canarok, Rather, and Edessa, but these depend on the size of the town. If it's a big settlement like Edessa, then you'll be surprised at the sheer amounts of NPCs minding their own business. You'll see guards patrolling, blacksmiths hammering away, and farmers tending their fields, though don't expect them to follow complex daily routines. They're more like friendly stage actors who always hit their marks and remember their lines, sharing local gossip and quest hooks with passing heroes. The game does a good job at presenting believable settlements, but it's still missing the finer details to make the player really feel like they're in a breathing, seamless fantasy world. When you venture out, the wilderness is filled with wildlife and hostile encounters. Different regions host their own bestiary of creatures, from antelopes to aggressive fabi. But the space feels empty in some regions, with only hostile creatures filling up the big landscape. Tired of fighting? You can make a pit stop at the few campsites within the game, but don't expect much. You'll only occasionally find what you need there. Other than that, with only one or two occasional NPCs giving you side quests, the roads feel empty, without any travelers passing through. The ambient soundtrack adds another layer of life. Birds chirp in the forests, wind howls across plains, and an eerie silence fills the dark dungeons. Keep an eye out though. You never know when traps might catch you dilly-dallying while you're eyeing the loot at the end of the dungeon corner. Although the game does its job well to look alive, it still doesn't quite hit the mark when you venture outside of the settlements, making it a near miss for what could have been a perfectly living world.
Go on and pull back the sheet though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
Onwards to customization, the game offers an extensive customization system that starts with character creation. You can choose from 4 distinct races: the militaristic Almain, seafaring Varani, stealthy Dokalfar, or naturey Lyosalfar, each bringing their own passive skills to the table. While the basic appearance options like gender, facial features, and war paint won't exactly win any beauty contests, they don't disappoint with a variety of options you can choose from for each body feature. Where the game truly shines is in its character progression system. First off, you've got a skills tree with 9 different skills of your own choosing, like lockpicking and blacksmithing, each offering their own distinct bonuses in that skill. Then there's the 3 talent trees: might, finesse, and sorcery, that can be mixed and matched like ingredients in an alchemist shop to create unique builds. Want to be a spell-slinging warrior or a stealthy mage? The game says, why not? Through the destiny system, these choices unlock special cards that define your class's bonuses, and you can switch them up anytime by visiting a Fate Weaver, for a little bit of cash of course. Equipment customization is equally extensive. Players can craft and modify weapons and armor through blacksmithing, enhance them with gems via sage crafting, and even create custom potions through alchemy. Each piece of gear can be socketed with crafted gems to boost various stats, from basic damage increases to exotic magical effects. What makes it more satisfying? The crafted gear's appearance varies based on the components used. Remember when we said you get free houses too? You can also upgrade them to have your own exclusive crafting stations in them, but that's about it. It lacks the customizability factor. Customization is definitely the game's strong point. It presents you a blank canvas, but lends you a guiding hand with its deeply interconnected mechanics, letting you run loose on which colors you want and don't. The game keeps you hooked through its intricately designed progression system that constantly dangle new possibilities in front of you. As you level up, you're not just getting stronger, you're unlocking new ways to play entirely. The fun lies in how the game lets you experiment freely, mix different combat styles, try out various destiny combinations, master different crafting skills, and reset it all if you want to try something new. However, while this freedom is exciting, it doesn't tie into the main quest in any meaningful way. There's little incentive to push forward with the story since these mechanics feel more like a separate feature rather than an integral part of the narrative. On top of that, the game doesn't reward you with standout armor or special skills that make completing the main storyline feel particularly worthwhile, other than for the plot. It's great for those who love tinkering with builds, but it might leave players who crave a tightly connected story progression wanting more. Bottom line is, the game's progression systems are fun and engaging, but they don't tie into the main quest enough to give you a strong reason to stick with the story.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path.
As the Fateless One, you're not just breaking the rules of destiny in the story. You're literally embodying this freedom through the game's layered character building systems. Think of it as a massive tapestry where every thread serves a purpose. From race choices with their cultural backgrounds, to flexible talent trees, to the unique destiny system that provides special passive skill combinations, reflecting your fate-defying powers. Even the religion system, with shrines scattered across the map offering divine blessings, ties perfectly into this intricate web of storytelling and gameplay. What makes this game truly special is how these mechanics aren't randomly thrown together. Each system is carefully tied to the game's extensive lore, creating a living, breathing mythology where your choices in character building genuinely matter. While other RPGs try to connect the lore to gameplay, Amalur actually does it better than most. However, that's it. It still follows the usual you gotta pick this, gotta pick that class skills and ability system in most RPGs. That being said, this game stands in the middle of the scale when it comes to being unique, hindering it from breaking any barriers.
You know better than any of us how this will end. Why must we fight a war that you know we will not win?
You would still ask that to Lara, after all you've seen.
Until I get an answer, Fate Weaver. Until then.
Phew,
Why do we
that was quite the journey, huh? To close things off, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is a decent fantasy open world game and detailed customization that gives you freedom to choose your playstyle. Even with its heavily segmented regions, a world that lacks just a tad of liveliness, progression systems that keep you entertained but don't fully connect to the main quest, and lore-backed game mechanics that come close to being unique but fall short, this game might just get on your good side, giving it a B tier score from your friendly virtual wanderers at GameTyr.